Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. So, if you are joining us here for the first time, we're doing a daily live stream for those of you over the Christmas period who maybe don't have anyone to hang out with. I myself have spent a lot of Christmases in the past alone. I thought might be a nice thing if we all hang out together over the Christmas period. You can ask me questions, use this as a coaching session for free coaching, or you can just hang out and share your wins. Type some stuff in the chat and we'll have a little bit of fun. But while I wait for all of you to start rolling in, I can already see a couple of you there in the chat. I want to share something from a coaching group. So I'll give you a little bit of backstory first. So there are two guys in my coaching group, two brothers actually, two identical twins, which is pretty fun and interesting and a very unique thing to be working with two identical twins. In the coaching group, when they first came, they were a little bit frustrated with their lack of results with women. And now they just hadn't really talked to many women at all. Each of them had approached like 8 or 9 women ever in their entire life. So a great start, but like it's just that, it's a start. And they're a little bit frustrated with their lack of results. And what I kept saying to them is like, look, you both have already put in a lot of effort into your own self-improvement. They both look really good. They've taken decent pictures for their Tinder profiles. And I said, just keep taking better pictures, keep doing that. But you've both already put a lot of effort into your style. You've put a lot of effort into your appearance. You both look really good. You just haven't been going out there and actually talking to enough women. And as they've started doing that and they've embraced, what we call autistic honesty, and they've been on dates with women and they've just said, you're sexy, can I kiss you? And a lot of the women have said, yeah, sure. And then they make out. I'm having fun. Do you want to go back to my place? And we can fool around. We can see what happens. They're just embracing their honesty and beautiful things have happened. So I gave them a little pep talk yesterday, basically about all of this. And I thought it would be useful to share with all of you because I think often we miss the two parts of the equation when it comes to dating, particularly if you're a man. But this stuff kind of applies to women as well, but especially for men. There are two parts of the equation with meeting women, having sex, relationships, dating, all of that stuff. It is improve the product, which is you, like improve yourself, self-improvement, and then go and talk to a lot of people. It's literally just that. As for how to improve, we talk about that a lot in the content. You can improve your appearance, you can improve the way you dress, you can improve your confidence, you can improve your self-love, improve your mindset, all of that. But improvement, and then just talk to a lot of people. But often we will miss one or sometimes both of those parts of the equation, or sometimes we'll work really hard on improving our looks and improving our confidence and all of that, but we're just not talking to enough women. And we think that we are. We're going outside and we're talking to like 5 or 10 women a week, which is beautiful. That's incredible. But like, let's try and bump that number up. So I'll share on the screen what I wrote to these two guys, a little pep talk that I gave them, which is very relevant to a lot of you, and maybe you'll benefit from this. So I said to these two guys, you guys are ridiculously fucking hot. Seriously. You have insanely good photos, like really good. The only thing that's missing now is using more boosts, to get more matches on Tinder and Hinge and Bumble, talking to more women, going out to bars more, hitting on more women during the day. You can think of dating/sex and relationships as similar to selling a product or a service. If you have a really good product and you show it to a lot of people, it makes sense that you'll then make a lot of money. Dating is exactly the same. It is literally have a good product and you are the product, show it to a lot of people, talk to a ton of women. You both have number one handled, absolutely. Yes, keep working on it, improving over time. You don't ever have to stop that. But you're both already so far past the point of having a good product, and they are. I won't show their pictures on the screen for anonymity, but if they both or one of them wants to come on the channel and do like one of those interviews that I do at the end of someone's time in coaching, you would see like, oh shit, these guys put a lot of effort into their self-improvement. They put a lot of effort into their grooming, into their style, into their fashion. They've lost weight. They've hit the gym. They've put a lot of effort over the last couple of years. They've done a lot. So you both have that handled, keep improving, never stop, but you're already past the point of having a good product. Now the only thing that's left is to show yourself to lots of women. There are so many women out there who would freaking love to make out with you, date you, have sexy times with you, be in a relationship with you, but they just don't know that you exist. Your only mission right now is to go and tell a lot of women that you exist by saying hello to them, by asking them out. Literally go do this 10 times more and you will have 10 times the results. You both have a good product. It's just that nobody knows about it or about you. So go say hi to more women. And this applies to a lot of you. There's like so many of you that have a decent product. Maybe it's not the best product in the entire world. Like I'm not the most attractive person in the entire world. You don't need to be, but you've put effort into your self-improvement. You've put effort into your appearance. You've put effort into going to the gym and all of that, but you're just not going out there and talking to anybody. And there are some of you that are starting a business, same shit. You're so petrified and worried of like, what if I can't help someone? What if I look like a giant fraud? What if somebody criticizes me? What if I don't know what I'm doing? But you're not actually going out there and saying to people, hey, here's my product or my service. Would you like it? Or would you like to try it? The more people that you talk to, in other words, the more you play the numbers game, the more success you're going to have. If you want 10 times the wins, just go and 10 times your effort. Like a lot of the time, it really is that simple. And I think a lot of you are sort of sitting here saying, how do I improve myself? How do I say the perfect pickup line? How do I be perfect in business? How do I have the perfect business plan? Stop trying to be perfect. Go out there and with an imperfect plan, take some action and you can adjust over time. A lot of you, the only thing you're missing is actually talking to people and asking them if they want to give you the thing that you want or asking them if they want to share in the thing that you want. A lot of you are literally ready, even though you think you're not, to go out there and talk to a ton of women or go out there and give your product or offer your product or service to a ton of people. You're so ready to do that, but you're just holding back out of fear. You're thinking that if I can get my product perfect, then I'll never get rejected. I'll never have to try as hard. People will just come to me. No, that's not how this works. Like people won't just come to you for business stuff. They won't just come to you for dating. Like get rid of that fantasy. That might happen to some people, sure. If you're a rock star, then sure. But most of you are just normal people. Get rid of the fantasy that this is like some easy thing that people will just come to you and go out there and start saying to people, would you like this? Or would you like me? Or would you like to see if you want to join me for a date? So go take some action. All right, I can see a bunch of your questions in there in the chat. Hello, Mr. Hold. Is that your actual last name? If so, that's a cool name. Mr. Hold. That's a cool name. I like that name. How you doing, buddy? Who else we got? Obvious Throwaway. Good evening, delectable CEO of Delectation. Do you mean delectable as in edible? Are you saying I'm an edible? In which case, I appreciate that, my friend. Dr. Chad Broman is having a mental breakdown, or he's fallen asleep on his keyboard, or he has a cat that's walked on his keyboard, and he says, and I quote, very wise words there, my friend. You go on to say, from now until the start of the stream, I will do acupressure while praying in tongues. Let's go. Ah, that explains it, my friend. Benjamin, my incredibly legendary human being, this statement that you've just written here today, hey, Andy, today I took 3 hours to approach only 3 girls. How do I improve that? Do you want to improve that? Take the word only out of there. Literally just that. Hey, Andy, today I took 3 hours and I approached 3 girls. Aren't I fucking incredible? Yes, you are, Benjamin. Do you understand that if you just walked around for 3 hours a day and talked to 3 women and asked them out, that would be more than enough to build an amazing dating life, an amazing amount of self-confidence, amazing relationships. It might take a little bit longer, and so you can just be a bit more patient. You know, if you're talking to 3 women a day over a week, let's say you do it 6 days a week, that's going to be 18 women. Maybe you go crazy and you talk to like 20 women. Yeah, it might take you a little bit longer, but just wait a month and you'll be on a date with someone. So you're already doing a lot, brother. As for how to improve it, like I said yesterday, just make a fun game of this. Set a stopwatch and say, okay, I talked to 3 women in 3 hours. Can I do it in 2 hours and 55 minutes? And bear in mind that some days you won't be able to. I think you said yesterday you actually did it quicker than this. I think you talked to 3 women in 2 hours. Yeah. Don't obsess too much about the actual numbers. Some days you take a lot longer. Some days you won't be able to talk to any women. Some days you'll go crazy and you'll have a burst of energy and you'll talk to 10 women and you'll go, holy shit, I'm Benjamin the legend. I talked to 10 women today. I must be a god. And then the next day you'll go outside and you can't talk to a single woman. That's how this goes. It's very up and down. All we care about is your general progress over time, over the long run. And 2 years ago, would you have been able to approach 3 women in 3 hours? I'm going to guess, and you're welcome to type it in the chat, I'm going to guess probably not. So you're making progress. Cool. Aim for progress over the long term. Other ways you can approach more women or help yourself approach more women, go out with some friends. I don't know if you're doing that, but take some friends out with you, dude. Like, do you know how much easier it is to talk to people if you're already talking to people? So go out with your friends and hang out and just talk, like literally treat it like a normal hangout, walk around. And anytime any of you see a cute girl, you just give each other a push. You say, hey, she's cute. Would you like to go say hi to her? And if you don't want to go say hi to her, like the anxiety gets too strong, that's okay. They can give you a little push. If you still can't do it, that's okay. No shame, no guilt, no beating each other up. But you just kind of hang out for 3 hours. If you had hung out with your buddies for 3 hours and they had given you a very gentle, but not forceful, but gentle push with each cute girl that you walked past, you probably would have talked to 5 girls, man. Like, it's so much easier to talk to more people when you're already being social with your friends. So I would find some friends that want to do this with you. You can go on forums and say, is there anyone in my city? You can go to Bumble, and there's a like Bumble best friends section where you make friends. I did this. I literally went on Bumble and I had a little template that I just copy pasted to everybody. That was basically like, hey, I'm looking for really loyal friends. Like, I want to build a tribe of men that will have each other's back and push each other. Here's the goals that I'm working on. One of them is dating, and I want to learn, or I want to practice talking to more women. Another one is like business. Tell me if that sounds good to you. Tell me what your goals are, and we can grab a beer or coffee or whatever, and we can push each other. And yeah, a lot of people that you send that to are just like, nah, I just want someone to play video games with. But I found 2 really, actually, I found 3. No, actually, I found 4. One of them moved away, 2 of them moved away, and then the other 2 I'm still really good friends with. So I found 4 really good friends, 2 of which still live near me, and we're still best friends and all of that. And they were down for that shit. They were like, holy shit, thank you. Yes, I'm looking for like loyal friends that will push me with girls and business and all of that stuff. So you can find people through that. You can also go to meetup.com and find like social events, and there'll be single guys there. And you basically just hang out with everyone, talk to the single guys and be like, hey, dude, like something I'm working on is like trying to go outside and talk to more women. Is that something you care about? And what you're going to find is like, especially single guys, 75% of them, maybe 50% of them will say, holy shit, yes. Is that a thing? Like, are there ways to talk to women outside? And you're like, yeah, bro, like you just walk up and you say hello to them. You told them that you're cute, and they're like, you told them that they're cute. And these guys will be like, holy shit, can you teach me? So that's a way that you can make friends. But I'd make friends, dude. That will make this like way easier, and you won't feel so weird and alone. All right, let's keep reading. Dr. Chad, you're doing the acupuncture. He says, now I have literal holes in my back. Kinky little bastard. Phoenix, do you still think now is the best time for dating? After that Love Shive documentary, I'm inclined to agree. When you say now, you mean like now is in the current year. Why do you care about the best time? Like why do you care about the best time? Also, how would I measure the best time? You're asking me for an opinion that's just going to be a dog shit opinion. Like my opinion is going to be dog shit. I've never lived in any other time other than right now. So how could I possibly know if it's the best time for dating? There is also the premise that the best time, there's a Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree is 15 years ago. The second best time is right now. And so if any of you ever ask me a question, do you think now's the best time? I'm not even going to listen to the rest of your sentence, and I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to interrupt you. And you're going to be like, wait, but I didn't I don't care. Now is the best time. Now is the only time, brother. Like, you don't have the future. It's not here yet. It might change. You might get hit by a bus. You might fucking die. You might get crippled. Who knows? The future isn't necessarily going to work out the way that you right now think it will. The past is already gone. So what time do you have for dating other than right now? Also, if you're talking in generalities, like, do you think now, as in this current year, this decade, is like the best time for dating? You can't live in any other decade, dude. So the question is irrelevant. You can't like go back in time 50 years and live then. You can't go forward in time, at least not right now. You'd have to sit there and wait and just not improve yourself for the next 10 or 20 years and wait until it's somehow maybe a better time for dating. So the question is, it's one of those questions where it's like a mental masturbation question. And I'm not attacking you for that, but it's one of those questions that's like irrelevant. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, this is the only time that we have. Who gives a shit when the best time for dating is? Start right now. Sorry, let me turn that down a little bit. That's loud. I talk a lot about this. Like, a lot of times we'll sit there and wait till the right time of the month or the right time of the year or the right time of like when I have my goals in order. So many of you, I hear this all the time. Like, people will sometimes even email me this. I don't know why. I guess to assuage their own guilt. But they will send me an email out of the blue, someone I've never met. I get this like probably once or twice a month. And someone will be like, hey, and they'll write like 10 paragraphs about how they're serious about changing their life. They want to sign up for coaching, but they're just waiting until summer, or they're waiting till they have a little bit more money, or they're waiting till they've improved their fashion a little bit, or they're waiting till they lose weight. And each time, I'm very gentle with my replies, but always the thought is in my head. I kind of giggle and I'm like, why the fuck are you telling me? I don't know you. Like, why did you just email me? And obviously, like I said, the reason is like guilt. You feel guilty that part of you knows, I could work on my goal right now. In this case, it's coaching, but it could be anything. I could work on my goal right now, but I know that I'm scared. And so I'm making excuses. And so I'm going to send Andy this email to explain myself, even though he never fucking asked and he doesn't know me. And so, yeah, I always have a little giggle when I see those emails, but that's sort of a wider point that a lot of times human beings will procrastinate something because they're waiting till the right time, but the right time is right now because something could change in the future. And that happens all the time. I'll tell you right now, if you are a coach for long enough, you come to see this, 99%, like literally 99% of the people that send those emails never sign up for coaching, as I'm sure you can imagine. Or if I'm on a call with someone and I say, would you like the coaching program? And they say, yeah, I'm just waiting till the right time. I'm going to say 95% of those people never sign up. And I can even email them like a month later or 6 months later or a year later and say, hey, where are you at? I remember we did that call. You said you were super serious. They never sign up. So when we wait, we're basically dooming ourselves with like a 95 to 98% certainty that we won't do the thing. Same with like New Year's resolution. Like how many of you, maybe you guys and girls won't do this as much, but some of you will, where you're like, I will start losing weight on like January 3rd or something. It's like, why don't you start right now? You'd be a month ahead of everyone else. You'd be showing yourself that even during tough times of the year, like Christmas can be a bit of a challenge because everyone's eating a lot of food and all of that. Holy shit, if I can make it through a tough time, like, or a challenging time, I can do anything. January should be a piece of cake then. I would have already built a habit. I would have shown myself that I don't wait until circumstances are perfect. I don't need the external world to be the way that I want it to be in order for me to take action. I am the person who's resilient, who's stoic, and just takes action anyway. So yes, to answer your question, Mr. Phoenix, yes, now is the best time for dating. You don't live in any other time, and why not get started right now? Dr. Chad gave a much more concise answer than that and just said, it is. Words of wisdom there, brother. I agree with you. Obvious throwaway says you can't know the future. You can't return to the past. Yeah, exactly what I just said. Really wise words there, my friend. Yeah. Past is gone. And plus, we're never accurate about how we view the past anyway. Like, we're just not. We have a lot of emotionality about it. We don't have the full story when we look back at the past. We only have our view and our opinion of the past and not other people's view of it. Like, most people have a very, like, including myself, we have a very one-dimensional view of the past. And a lot of times we either say the past is good or bad. Like when we're looking at an event in the past, we make it so fucking simplified. We're just like, that was bad, that was good, that was bad, that was good. So there's like no nuance there. So the past isn't even realistic. We're not even realistic about how we talk about the past. The future, we're definitely not realistic about. Like if you're someone that's very anxious a lot, then you're just like literally not realistic when you're thinking about the future. You're like worried about the worst case scenario. You're not playing to win. You're obsessed about rejection. You're terrified of all your fears and all of that. So we're not even often realistic about the future. And so the only moment that we really have is right now. And the only moment that is actual reality is right now, because your ideas of the future most of the time don't come true. You can play around with that yourself by, all of you right now, try predicting the future a month from now and like write it down so that you can't change your answer. Write it down, say like everything you're going to be doing per hour. Like pick one day, 1 month from now, like a Monday or something, and say like pick fucking January 3rd. Write down everything that you're going to do per hour. You will be wrong on basically all of it. Even if you have that there and you try and stick to it, like you try and cheat and stick to the plan, you still won't be able to stick to it perfectly. So we can't even predict a month from now. You can even play around with this and try and predict tomorrow what you're going to do. And there's like a 70% chance that most of what you predict won't happen exactly the way that you predict it, down to the minute or the hour. Like it just doesn't work like that. So we can't even predict a day into the future. And then the past, you can play around with this too. Go to people where you've had a shared event together, like maybe you guys went to a concert together or you went to a party, and write down everything that you remember and what happened, and then share that with the other person and say, do you agree with all of this? And they'll disagree with parts of it. They'll go like, no, like you didn't have a cocktail, you didn't have a mimosa, you had a margarita. And you're like, oh, fuck, I did. Oh, shit, you're right. And then they'll be like, no, we didn't stay at that party till like 2 a.m. We left at like 1:15, remember? And you're like, oh, shit, I think you might be right. Like you'll just be wrong about the past with like very basic fucking details. And so our minds aren't always perfect at representing the past accurately and predicting the future. And so the only thing that you have any hope with is the present right now. That's why I try my best to not fuck around with the past, not fuck around with the future. I say this all the time. The past and the future are nice places to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. And some people live there forever. You know, they live in the future of anxiety. They're like, fuck, what if this goes wrong? What if I fail? What if this happens? Or they'll live in the past. Like a lot of you will ask questions where you're like, I missed out on my 20s. I missed out on my 30s. Like, it's too late for me. I'm not going to make it. Haven't had sex and I'm 30. Look at all that time where I haven't had sex. Plus, I'm now terrified of the future too. What if I die before I fix this? Like, you're living in the past and the future, and it's a very painful place to be because you have no control over them. You literally have no control over them. You can slightly influence the future. You can rewrite the story that you tell about the past, but you can't 100% control the future, and you can't 100% control the past. It's already happened, and the future might happen or it might not. Like, it might happen according to your plan or it might not. So, yeah. Dr. Chad says, Phoenix, did you see the last video of Andy's? I don't know which video you're referring to. I don't know which one I did. I record all my content like weeks or months in advance and then like schedule them ahead. So I'm not sure which video you're referring to, but if I did a video that helped, great. Obvious Throwaway says, yeah, what I just said before. Now's always the best moment because there's only now. Yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, Chad. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, I remember. Yeah, in a couple of videos, I've said, like, look, I will work with some of you in the coaching program. This isn't something I offer a lot, but the payment plans that we have, if you absolutely fucking need to, you can email me and talk to me, and we can discuss, like, paying a little bit less per month. You'll still have to pay the full amount over a longer time. Like, I make that very clear. But, yeah, that's something I offer, but only in extreme circumstances. Like, only if I can see that someone's very serious, because what happens a lot of the time, we've experimented with this quite a bit where I let someone in for a much lower amount, like $200 a month or something. And often some of those people are just not as serious as the people that pay $500 a month or the people that pay in full and go, here's $11,000. You're obviously very fucking serious if you pay $11,000. Like, you're going to take that seriously. And those are the people that make the most changes, like have the most changes in coaching. So yeah, it's something that I offer if the circumstances are extreme, and you're very welcome to email me, any of you, and ask about that. Yeah. Byron8899 says, hi from CA, Cali. Thanks for writing that. Like, I literally wouldn't have known what CA is, especially like as a non-American. I would not have guessed. So thank you for that. California. Do you think a person from California who are in mid-30s and never dated, living with parents, are at a big disadvantage when it comes to dating, especially when it's hard to move out due to the cost of living? I don't really think in terms of advantages or disadvantages. All I see is the work that needs to be done, like the steps that need to be taken, and then get to work. So it's why you'll not hear me say, oh, you're short. Oh, that sucks, bro. Oh, you're not super confident with women. That sucks. Oh, you have ADHD or autism. Oh, that sucks, bro. That's going to be harder for you. No, like, you'll literally never hear me use the word disadvantage, because what disadvantage implies is that it's going to be harder for you and you're going to have to suffer, which is not true. With the right mindset, you don't have to suffer or struggle at all. In fact, this journey can be a blast. It can be fun. That's what we talk about on this channel. And if we use the word disadvantage, then for a lot of you, you just give up. You're like, it's too hard. So stop looking at all the things that you'll need to do to change, because that's going to overwhelm you. And instead, just pick a goal. Like, I would like to move out of my parents' place. Like, I definitely recommend that as your first goal. I would like to move out of my parents' place, and then reverse engineer that. Like, what do we need to do? Like, you might need to go and get a job that pays more. You might need to move to a cheaper area. Like, I have heard, I don't live there, but I have heard that California can be quite expensive. So maybe you live somewhere else. Maybe you move to a cheaper state. Maybe you move in with other people. Like, you move in with 2 housemates, so you're paying 1/3 of the rent, and you live off ramen noodles for a while. I did that when I was working on my dating life. Like, when I was like 28, 29, and I first started really taking this stuff seriously and working on it, I moved out and I literally survived on ramen noodles. Like, it was difficult, ramen noodles and rice, but it was fun. It was a blast. You know, I took out some money as a bank loan to be able to afford it, and I lived somewhere in the middle of the city, and I just went out every day and I talked to women, and I put all my focus on that. So yeah, you'll never hear us on this channel using the word disadvantage, because then it just, like, why would I use a word that's going to make it harder for you? Like, what benefit would you get if I said, yeah, Byron, you're right, this is going to be really hard and you're at a disadvantage? That just demotivates you. You'll go, shit, this sucks. Maybe I shouldn't try. But no, dude, all that there is the work. Look at what there is that you need to do and just start taking those little baby steps. So again, I would suggest moving out first, but I would also suggest going outside and talking to strangers and just starting that process. Maybe get some friends or some accountability. You're very welcome to hit me up for a coaching call if you want that, or just hang around in this community and we can, all help you for free in the YouTube comments and all of that. But yeah, man, I would just start doing the work. I would look at your next goal, which is probably moving out, if that's something that you care about. I'm guessing that it is. But yeah, start doing the work, dude. I've worked with people that are literally like 5'2", and you could say that's a disadvantage. I've worked with people with severe mental health issues, and you could say that's a disadvantage. I worked with a woman who was living at home in her 30s, and she was suicidal and depressed and agoraphobic, and she couldn't leave the house. And I could say like, holy shit, that's a disadvantage. And it's like, but how does that benefit her? All that there is like the work that's in front of us, and let's get to work. You know, there's no point worrying about the word disadvantage is you comparing. And comparison is the thief of joy. If you compare yourself to someone else and you're like, fuck, I got it harder, you're just going to ostracize yourself from that person. You're disconnecting yourself from other people. You're saying it's too hard for me. I can't change. No, dude, there's just the work. So let's get to work. And like I said, we're all here to help you with that, dude. Like, we will support you with that. I'm assuming you're a guy. You didn't actually say. You might be a woman. I think Byron is a name that can go both ways. But yeah, there's just the work, and we're here to help you with that. Phoenix says Chad, or Dr. Chad. Yeah, we got to address him by his proper name. Dr. Chad, do you have a cat? If so, please share with the stream. Currently not. You guys are having a very wholesome conversation down there. Kimberly, that's great, bro. Okay, Kimberly, I get very fucking excited when a woman uses the word bro, because it happens so unbelievably rarely. And most of the women that I've ever heard use the word bro are like lesbian women. It's just so rare. So thank you for using the word bro. On behalf of all men, I thank you for your service. Thank you for using the word bro. It literally makes me fucking happy. Makes me feel all mushy and happy inside. How cool would it be if like all women just walked around going like, hey bro, what up bro? Like that. Oh, holy shit. I want to live in that world. And men just walk around like talking to other people, talking to each other the way that women talk to each other. We're like, oh, sweetheart. Oh, darling. Oh, honey. Like, oh, baby. Like, fuck, I want to live in that world. That'd be cool. Phoenix says, my win is probably going to be getting my regular haircut. I keep dragging my feet on those. Really? Oh, dude, when I had hair, I used to love getting a haircut. How many of you, like, type in the chat if you guys love getting a haircut? Because they give you, like, a little head massage, and when they run the comb or the brush, like, through your hair, oh, fucking bliss. And if you go to a more expensive place, they'll, like, wash your hair and shampoo it. Oh, my fucking God. And they'll give you a head massage. And then when they blow dry it and they're, like, styling it, damn, dude, like, really? Like, you don't like it? I guess the question is like, what do you not like about it? Is it spending the money? In which case, feel free to type that in chat and we can help you like let go of the fear of spending money. Is it that you feel like you have to talk to the barber? If so, you don't have to. You can just say, hey, do you mind if I just get some thinking in and we don't really talk? You can say that to like Uber drivers and like taxi drivers and stuff as well. Like you're not compelled to talk. Yeah, what is it that you don't like about haircuts? And maybe we can help you. Yeah, Dr. Chad said, so this is an answer to Benjamin, who went out there for 3 hours today, walked around, approached or hit on 3 women that he didn't know, which is already incredible. Like talking to 3 strangers that you don't know is already incredible, let alone women that you might be a little bit scared of because you're nervous and you have all that anxiety, let alone like sticking out there for 3 hours. That does show commitment. Benjamin, I've said this to you many times. You are incredibly brave. And Obvious Throwaway says, yeah, I remember the 1 approach a day article. Yeah, I wrote an article a while ago. I think I wrote like 2 articles saying what I did for a long time because I had a lot of anxiety was I said, what if I just walk up to 1 woman a day, tell her that she's pretty or cute and ask her for a phone number, unless she has a boyfriend, obviously. But what if I just hit on 1 woman a day? What would that be like? That was life-changing. I think I dated like 3 women from that in like 6 months, from like literally just doing 1 approach a day. I think it might have even been more than that, but you're just walking up to a woman. And there were some days where I really didn't want to talk to a woman. Like I did, but you get what I mean. Like there was that anxiety. And I just said like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And I walked around for a couple of hours and then I just talked to 1 woman. I can remember this like beautiful Polish woman named Małgorzata. And she was wearing this red dress and we're in this shopping mall and she just looked so unbelievably pretty. And she walked past me a couple of times and I was just like, she's so pretty. Like I will be kicking myself if I don't go over and say hi. So I walked over to her and I was like, you are so unbelievably pretty. And she just had this big smile immediately. And she was just giggling and she's like, thank you. You're very handsome. And I was like, holy shit, I love this woman. I introduced myself to her and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, nothing. I just moved here to your country. Like she had a beautiful Polish accent, beautiful like blue eyes. Like, oh my God, she was just like divine. And she's like, I just moved to your country a few weeks ago and I don't know anyone. I don't know anything. So I'm just walking around. And so I kind of put my arm out like this, and she like took my arm in hers, and we kind of like linked arms and held arms. And I was like, come on, I will show you around. And we walked around, and we were kind of like boyfriend, girlfriend, almost like holding arms. And I took her around to different things, and I got her to try different Australian things. I got her to try Vegemite, which she fucking hated, which I kind of knew she would. We went to like a store, and she bought herself like a little kangaroo, like a little toy, a little plushie. And we went and had a date, and we hung out for a while, and I kind of hugged her at some point. I said, can I kiss you? She said, not right now. And then we ended up like holding hands the whole time. We went on a second date. We held hands. I said, can I kiss you? So she said, sure, but she was like really shy and really like conservative, I guess, because she's from Poland. And she later said to me, we don't usually make out in public on a second date. Fair enough. We go back to my place for the third date, and holy crap, I'll phrase this in a clumsy way. She was a demon in the bedroom. I'll phrase it like that. Like, she went from like shy and conservative. I remember we were making out, and it was pretty obvious we're gonna have sex, and I said, can I take your clothes off? And she's like hesitant, and I was like, we don't have to. And then she's like, is it okay? She just kept asking me, is it okay? And I was like, what do you mean? Is it okay? I think, we can often have that conservativeness in our head, and we think it's not going to be okay. And I was like, yeah, if like you want to do this, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to judge you. Like, you either want to do this or you don't. And she said a couple more times, as we're making out, are you sure this is okay? And I was like, look, I like you, you like me. It's okay if we say it's okay. If you don't want to do it, fine, just tell me that. And she had this moment where she just like basically jumped on top of me and just started attacking me with kisses and grinding, and like the sex was insane. As soon as she gave herself permission to do it, holy shit, it was incredible. So we saw each other for a while. She ended up saying, I think I'm looking for something a little bit more serious. I was like, that's beautiful. She went separate ways. I saw her a bunch more times, actually, because I think she lived really close to me. And I saw her a bunch more times over the years, and we'd stop, we'd have a chat. I saw her riding her bicycle one time, and I waved at her, and she came over and we talked for a while. She was a sweetheart. Anyway, random conversation. We went down a little hole there, but that was just like one of the people from doing one approach a day. Like, literally just some random stranger that I saw in a beautiful red dress, beautiful woman. I go over and talk, and we end up dating each other for a couple of months. And then years later, we're still waving at each other in the street and saying hi. So that's just one. I could tell you guys like another 3 or 4 people that I met while I was doing that one approach a day thing. That really was life-changing for me. And it shows you that you don't have to take a ton of action. Obviously, taking more action will lead to your goals quicker. But even just talking to one person a day can be pretty freaking life-changing. As obvious throwaway said, it's just going to take a bit of time. Yeah, so if you're talking to one person a day, make it very clear in your own mind that you're not going to have any expectations. Like, I don't know, half of the people that you walk up to are already going to be in a relationship. So you might hit on them, they might say thank you, but they're just not available. So yeah, just like be more patient. I say this a lot. You can, with the numbers game, you can either talk to more people, if we're talking about dating or business or anything, either talk to more people and play the numbers game harder, like do more volume, or just have more patience, or a combination of both. Blue Note. Blue Note says, Benjamin, just drink a crap ton of Red Bull and you'll be speedrunning approaching women. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys and girls a story. So I went to a festival the other week, like a couple weeks ago, and I took a video. I put a video and like screenshots and all of that in the video itself. While I'm talking, I'll see if I can do 2 things at once, which I clearly can't because I'm struggling right now. But I will see if I can find some pictures. I went to a festival with Emmy and Bronwyn and one of Emmy's friends, and we had a blast. And someone there, I can't remember who it was. It was like it might have been someone that we made friends with. We met a few people while we were there. And someone literally told us a story of like, I had 5 Red Bulls, or my partner had 5 Red Bulls, and then he cheated on me. And I was like, wait, what? Like, how does Red Bull make you cheat? And they're like, I don't know, but he blamed the Red Bull. He said I had so much Red Bull, and that's why I cheated on you. And I'm really sorry, but like, it was the Red Bull. I guess I can't have Red Bull in the future. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't think caffeine like makes you cheat on people. But anyway, yeah, crazy story. I guess people will come up with all sorts of cute little rationalizations. Anyway, there's the fucking picture. I finally found it after all that talking. But yeah, went to this cool fun festival, and someone told us that their partner cheated on them because they had a bunch of Red Bulls. So kids, I'm telling you, be careful with that Red Bull. Hey, it might make you cheat. It might make you fucking horny. I don't know how, because when I have Red Bull, I just have way too much energy. I can't imagine having sex. Caffeine is kind of counterintuitive for me. Caffeine kind of gets in my way. Obvious Throwaway says, also with regards to friends, so I was talking before about like getting some friends together and saying, let's walk around, let's hang out together, and maybe we talk to some women, say hello, and all of that. You'll be surprised how much people will be hyped as hell to push you to approach, even if they don't. Yeah. So I've done this a lot. I've had friends who were like in relationships, and I've said, would you like to go hang out with me? We can chat. We can just hang out. But if I see some cute girls, do you mind if I go and say hello to them? And they're like, yeah, I don't care, dude. Of course. Like, great. And so I'll hang out with the person, and I'll put more of a priority on the friendship if they're in a relationship or something, and if they're not going to be talking to women. So I'll put more of a focus on the friendship, and we'll talk, and I'll let them finish their sentence. And then when they're finished, I'll say, hey, dude, like, do you mind if I go talk to that woman over there? And they'll be like, dude, go do it. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like, do you want anything from me? Do you want a pep talk? Like, you can do this, brother. Like, so yeah, people don't even have to be working on the same goals as you. This is just a general statement. People don't have to be working on the same goals as you to push you and for you to push them. Like, a lot of the time we think I can only hang out with people who are working on the exact same goals as me. No. Like, lots of my friends are in relationships or married with kids. I have friends that are just working solely on business. I have friends that are working on losing weight. Like, you can have friends that are working on different things, because the process of self-improvement and goals and goal setting and productivity and enjoying your life and being happy and all of that and asking for help and all of that is the same across every goal. Like, it doesn't really change. And what will work in one area, like one goal, will often work in the other goal too. Like, the mindsets are all exactly the same. Like, everything that I put in my Play to Win video course applies to literally any goal ever. And so if you have those mindsets that I talk about in that Play to Win video course, you can just share them with the people that you're friends with. It doesn't matter what goal that they're working on. Phoenix, so you said, do I need the same kind of pictures for Bumble BFF? So Bumble BFF is like the friendship section or version of Bumble. And you go on there, you meet some friends. No, like, don't worry about having good pictures on there. Like, you could take fucking 5 selfies if you want to. I still recommend that you have like decent pictures, but you're not putting in as much effort. Like, guys don't really care as much what you look like. They care, does this person put the bare minimum of effort into like their appearance? Like, do they look like they give a shit about themselves? So then I can give a shit about them too. Like, why would someone take you seriously if you don't take yourself at least a little bit seriously? So yes, like, groom yourself, wear some decent clothes, take a somewhat decent picture, but you're not going for like the level. It doesn't have to be the level of dating profile pictures. But I thought you already had some somewhat decent pictures. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought you were already like, I thought you're already working on your dating life and your online profile pictures, your online dating profile pictures. It would be nice if I can get by with mid-okay pictures. Yeah, you can, for making friends. Like, think about it like this, Phoenix. If you saw some dude on a friendship app and you guys were just going to grab beers, talk about goals, and push each other, would you care about the quality of his pictures? No, you probably have some baseline level. I want to make sure he doesn't look like a serial killer. I want to make sure he doesn't look like he never leaves the house or something and doesn't care about his appearance. As long as he's meeting that bare minimum, then I'm good. Like, yeah. I myself, with my own friends, if I think about it, I have some really attractive friends or friends that have worked on their appearance, but I also have some that put in like the bare minimum of effort. They're putting in effort into their grooming, sort of their clothes, but not really. Like, I have one friend who dresses pretty casually. Like, I wouldn't say he puts in a lot of effort to his appearance. He's clean, and that's maybe all I really require from a friend. So you kind of think about what you want. You probably don't really care that much as long as your friends put some effort in. You're not trying to sleep with them or be attracted to them. You just want to make sure that they're putting in a little bit of effort. Yeah, as obvious throwaway said, it's less about the style, like the appearance, I guess you'd say, and more about like lifestyle. And even that, yeah, don't stress, Phoenix. Like, Phoenix, I think I said this to you before. A lot of your questions, and there's a few of you in the chat, there's a couple of you in the chat that like, a lot of your questions are sort of worrying about the future, or like, it's a manifestation of anxiety and fear where you're wanting an answer to every single question. And if we can all gently push you towards taking action before you know what's going to happen, you will take way more action. Like, the people that are most successful in life have something called a very low time to action, or TTA. And time to action is the amount of time from when you have a thought in your head of like, I want to do that, or I want that thing, or this is something I want to work on. The amount of time from having that thought to actually taking the very first baby step. Like the first tiny little baby step that you could take. If you can get your time to action, TTA, down to like 1 minute, you know, you don't have to like take a ton of action, but just like you take that one first baby step. If you can get your TTA down to that, holy crap, dude, like there will be no stopping you. But I think you are someone who has a time to action with some goals of like months or maybe years. Where you're just like, I want to work on this, but like, I need to make sure I have all the answers first. And you're sort of sitting around not taking action. And you're not like that with everything. You're taking action on quite a few things. But yeah, if you can reduce that TTA and actually get yourself to start taking tiny little baby steps, like the tiniest baby step that you could ever take. If you can get that down to like, I take a baby step within 1 day of having a thought that I want to work on a goal, holy crap, there'll be no stopping you. Let alone if you can get that down to like a couple of hours, like damn, like at that level, you're just absolutely crushing it. Most people have a very long or very like slow TTA. Like a lot of people have a TTA of years. All of you right here in this chat, like pretty much everyone that watches the channel, your TTA, your time to action, is probably a lot lower than like most people. Like some people will talk for years about how they hate their boss, they hate their job, they hate working there, it feels like a grind, they're not happy. And friends will be like, would you like to quit? And they're like, yeah, but I can't. Like, and they won't take a single bit of action because they're overwhelmed, they're scared, they don't know that it's a lot easier than they think it is, blah, 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 blah. And so they don't take any action. Even though they could take a piece of action, they could take one baby step immediately. What would that baby step be if you're scared to leave a job and find somewhere else? Google other jobs in your area. That's it. Just type into Google jobs in my area in whatever industry it is. And then just sit there for 3 minutes and look at them. You don't have to apply. You don't have to work on your resume. You don't have to quit. All of that might be too scary, but like you can at least just Google jobs in your area. But people will go years without taking action because they don't know that you're allowed to just start with baby steps. Most people have this concept in Phoenix, maybe you do too, that the way you achieve goals is by just being this hardcore warrior who takes like a ton of action and you just like leap to the finish line. That's not how most goals are achieved. It's tiny little baby steps that slowly add up over time. Like any athlete will tell you that. They're not like, they'll tell you, I didn't just become a world-class gold medalist in 1 minute. It was like showing up to training for 8 hours a day for like 10 years straight. It's just tiny little baby steps. And most of your goals won't take 10 years, but you get the point. Phoenix, you said, I'm not seeing any compelling meetups even in SF. Brother, if by SF you mean San Francisco, I am going to call you out on your bullshit right now. I am going to go to meetup.com right now, and I'm going to do this in a gentle way, but we're going to pull this up on the screen, and I'm going to show you a whole bunch of compelling, interesting... You're in San Francisco. I think you said you're like an hour away from San Francisco. Dude, there are no excuses if you're going to say like, there's nothing in San Francisco. It's like one of the biggest cities on the planet, dude. Like, there is so much stuff. And so what you can do is you go on to... Actually, why don't I just show this on the screen? How about we just do that? Also, okay, to be fair, there might be slightly less over December. Let's make that very fucking clear. But there will still be a lot of stuff. Actually, can we look in January while I'm talking about this? Because, yes, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. There might be less. Actually, no, even as I'm scrolling, there's stuff in December, dude. Dude, no, there's cool shit. Okay, I'm going to show you this on the screen. Come on. We're going to show you that it's possible, man. Because a lot of the time, your brain will just be, like, very nervous and anxious. Like, this might be your anxiety talking. Like, I was very anxious when I first started going to meetups. I'll be very honest. Like, I was very scared. I was scared of meeting new people that I didn't know, scared of putting myself out there. I was, like, terrified. Like, fair enough. Also, have I even got the right San Francisco? Isn't there, like, 2? No. Okay, now I'm doubting myself. Where the fuck is San Francisco? It's in California. So why did it say AR? What's AR? Isn't that Argentina? No, we want like fucking California. Help. Everybody help me. Am I tripping? Why is San Francisco not here? Am I like actually doing this wrong? I literally need help, guys. Am I doing something wrong? What am I doing wrong? Anyway, whatever. Fuck. There we go. I clicked that. That's what I clicked. California. Okay, I think I fixed it. I think I fixed it, ladies and gentlemen. It was giving me Argentina for some reason. There we go. No, I was on the right page. Yeah, that's what I tried. I tried like San Fran, CA. But for some reason it said San Fran. Are we in the right area now? Is this San Fran? Let me browse in the map. Copenhagen. Help. Okay, I'll try typing in what you guys said. San Francisco, California. Look. Can you guys see that drop down? All that is there is Argentina. Am I doing something fucking wrong? I don't think that I am. And now look, it's defaulted to San Fran, Argentina, even though you all literally saw me click on the word California. Look, literally California. Here's literally California. Okay. Dude, I tell you what, if I'm going to struggle this much to just even fucking click into the goddamn thing, then maybe it doesn't like me because I'm not in America. Does this look, guys and girls, does this look like San Francisco? This is New York now. This is Brooklyn and Queens. Guys, help. What in the shit is going on? You know what, Phoenix? I forgive you. If you can't find a meetup in your city, I absolutely fucking forgive you because I don't know what the shit is going on. All right, one of you said try this zip code. 94949. That says Nevada, California. Let's see if that works. Am I in the right spot now? Is this better? The Bay Area. There we go. I know enough to know that that's it. San Francisco Bay Area. We fucking did it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so after you get over the hurdle of being able to even actually figure out the events, and by the way, I don't think it'll be this hard in America, like Phoenix. I don't think you struggle this much. Anyway, all right, let's go through here and have a little look. Because, yeah, as I said before, sometimes we're a little bit hesitant to put ourselves out of our comfort zone. But Phoenix, something that I did when I was working on my social skills and working on putting myself out there a little bit more was I said, what if I go to one meetup, like on this website that you can see on the screen, one meetup every single day, every single night, I will go to one. And I did that for like 2 months straight. And my only mission was to go to one every night. And that really taught me to keep an open mind because I went to shit that I never would have gone to in a billion years. I took yoga classes. I took a magician's class. I did a bunch of debate groups. I did a bunch of singles groups. I did like movie nights. I took a soap making class, like with a bunch of old ladies. And I was like the only man there. Actually, there was one gay dude there as well. I took a candle making class. I did a bunch of arts and craft classes. I did a bunch of debating. If I didn't already say that, I joined a bunch of book clubs. Yeah, Phoenix, as you say, like pick one meetup a day, regardless of what it's about. Yeah, why not? Do a 30-day project for that. How fun would that be? And your only mission every day is to pick anything. And some days there will be slim pickings. Like there will be basically nothing on except, you know, a group of old people going in, having coffee in a coffee shop. Great. Go there. As Obvious Throwaway says, at least give them a shot. Yeah. And I got Emmy to do the same thing when we first moved here because she didn't really have any friends. Like new city, I had one friend that moved with me. And so I was okay, but she had no one. And so I said, what if you just go to like one meetup every day? I think she ended up going to like 4 or 5 a week. She didn't do every day, but 4 or 5 a week. And she went to a bunch of really interesting stuff that she never would have before ever thought about. So look, if we look here on the page, let's say 7th of December, maybe that's too late for you. Fine. Like fair enough. Like it's already probably happened, but look, drawing and sketching on Friday evenings. How fucking cool is that? Like you could go and do that. You're probably not going to do a good job of it. You don't have to. That's not the mission. Right near Costco Tire Center. That's so cool. You guys have Costco's everywhere. We only have like 2 Costco's in Australia and they're fucking big. Anyway, look, you get to draw and you're probably going to suck, but you show up and you say, I don't know how to draw. I don't know anything, but I'm trying to do one meetup every day. And people will be like, wow, that's amazing. That's such a cool mission. And you go there and you see what that's like and you have fun with that. And then the next day you pick like another thing and put it in your calendar and schedule it and RSVP to this stuff. Like tell them that you're going. So then you'll definitely go. You'll feel compelled to go. But yeah, look here, singles event. How freaking cool would that be? You could go to a singles event. They got all these dates here, December 6th, 7th, 13th, 14th. You go and meet people. And no, you don't have to be charismatic. You don't have to be perfect. You're just going and saying hi. Like Obvious Throwaway set, you're just giving them a shot. So that would be you sorted for like, I know it's too late, but like the 7th, it's already the 7th, fine. Scroll down. These are all the 6th, 7th. Look, book exchange. That'd be cool. It's a women's book club, but maybe they'd let you go. Some women's clubs let you go. Some don't. That's fine. But there's plenty of like mixed gender clubs and stuff like that. Free screenwriting. I would go to that. Like these are the kind of things I went to and I had no experience in it. I would literally show up and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to write a script, but I know how to like say words. Can you guys teach me or can I muck around and be there with you? So yeah, like there's so much fun stuff you can go. It's just going to require a little bit of like more of an open mind. And look at this. We're still on December 6th and 7th. Even as I scroll down, look at this. Everybody is stupid except for me. You can't say you wouldn't have fun with that. What a freaking title. It's a philosophy meetup. Philosophy groups are some of my favorite meetups. Like you literally sit there and talk with people and debate and stuff. That's amazing. Mindfulness Toastmasters. You can learn how to be more mindful. That sounds amazing. Art journaling. That sounds cool as hell. My God. Connection practice. Learning how to make meaningful human connections. Phoenix, that's what you want. You're working on your dating and sex life and all of that. Oh my God, that's exactly you. I don't know what that is. Cinema. Grief and trauma transformation. You have a little bit of trauma. How do I know that? Because you're a human. All humans have trauma. Go there and talk about your trauma and have fun there. Bond. I don't even know what that is, but that sounds cool. Ethical hacking 101. Okay, that sounds fucking cool. I kind of wish I was in California now. That sounds cool. I love the kind of ethical hacking thing where they hack like a company or something and then they tell them and say, hey, like you have a vulnerability here. You need to fix this. Like I love that. It's also known as white hat hacking. I love that stuff. Sip and stitch. Dude, I would have, this is the kind of stuff that I went to where you like go with a bunch of ladies and they'll sit there and like sip wine. That's what the sip is for. And then stitch, like you like do crochet and you might be like, I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I didn't know how to make candles. I didn't know how to do magic. I didn't know how to make soap. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. I went to one where you just sit there and make cocktails. That was fun. Like you just go and learn stuff. And so, yeah, women's, okay, you probably can't go to that one. Maybe if you put on a really sexy dress, a really convincing dress. Okay, come on. Life, the universe, and everything. General chat for the philosophical inclined. Go to that. That's still, look, we're still on the 7th of December. We're literally still looking at events on the 7th of December. Loving kindness meditation. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Improv game jams on Zoom. So you don't even have to leave your house. You can socialize. We're still on the 6th and 7th of December. Do you see what I mean? Like often our brain will go, there's like nothing that I can work on. There's nothing that I can go there and do. Like, dude, there's so much stuff here. There's so much stuff here. There's like crazy amounts of stuff. Shut up and write. Bible study. Why not? Even if you're not religious. I'm not religious. I've gone to church and shit and just sat there and listened and be like, this is dope. Like, I love hearing what other people are into. I love reading interesting history books, and the Bible to me is a really interesting history book. Like, you could go to that. That'd be fun. Mess around with crystal. I don't even know what that is. Fucking crystal divine healing. Why not? Go get some fucking crystals into you. Go get some spirituality. Spiritual growth and expanding your consciousness. That sounds perfect. And as one of you said, some of these are online events. Yeah, you can still do online events or just skip. I think you can click here and go like no online events if you want to meet in person, but online events are still a place to meet people. Astrologers, let's read some chat. There's like so much interesting shit here and we're still on the 6th and 7th of December. Like, do you see what I mean? Like you're going to have too many things. Buddhism 101. What is the purpose of life? Oh my God. So I think you get the point. I think we've drilled in the point by this point. We've well and truly made our point. There's lots of really cool, interesting stuff there. It's just that our brain will sometimes say, nah, like it's hopeless or there's no point or I won't have anything to learn there or people won't be cool, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there's lots of stuff there, dude. Sorry, I'm reading through all your comments now. Blue Note says it's still December the 6th in San Francisco. He could go tonight. Yeah, you could, Phoenix. Would you like to do that, Phoenix? We just looked at, like, if anything, you have too many cool things to go to. Like, just roll the dice and pick one. Like, if you want to, and we would support you in this, and I'm gently saying this would be beneficial for you, would you like to go to one of them? As Blue Note says, you could do it tonight. You go and you might have fun. I can't tell you how much fun I had with all the meetups that I went to. I met some amazing people. Some of them are still my friends today. My best friend, Tim, that I've talked about quite a lot, that he'll be spending Christmas with me this year, and we pretty much always spend Christmas together the last couple of years. I met him at a meetup. It was like a book club, and we met and we talked about philosophy. It was like a philosophy book club, and we talked about a bunch of stuff. We just connected immediately, and we've been friends for like, I don't know, 10 or 13 years or something now, like a long time, longer than I can remember. Maybe not that long. I don't know, 2012? When is that? Yeah, it's like 12 years. We've been friends for like 11 or 12 years. So, yeah. I'm trying to read through all your comments. Kimberly says, what a different world women live in as far as the typical anxieties and things we need to worry about when going out or wanting to find a partner, date, relationship. Yeah, but like at the same time, it's really not that different. Like, I've been a coach for long enough. And I've met enough women and dated women and been friends with women and talked to enough women that like you can sort of expand outwards and say most humans suffer from the same things. They suffer from a lack of knowledge. I'll phrase it like this. Most human beings want the same thing. Every human being wants the same thing. They want to be loved and to love other people. They want to be understood and to understand. And they want to be happy. Like just every human being wants those things. And how those things manifest or show themselves are slightly different. Like, yeah, for women, like you as a woman, Kimberly, I think you already know this, no shit, but you have a lot more options in dating, like obviously. And so then you could look at the difference and say, oh, like women have different anxieties and different concerns and different worries when it comes about like dating and hooking up and partners and all of that. And like, sort of, yes, but at the same time, you have a lot of similarities as men. And I know that in my life, when I'm trying to connect with people, I focus on the similarities more than the differences. Like I basically never really focus on the differences unless I'm trying to give you logistical help of like step by step how to solve a particular problem. Sure, then I'll focus on your unique situation. But I've just found from doing coaching for enough years now that pretty much every human being, whether man, woman, tall, short, this country, this race, that race, like we're all human beings, we're all members of the human race. And that's not to say that in some hippie spiritual way, although I guess it kind of is, but we all suffer from the same sort of insecurities and anxieties. We all have the same desires to be understood and to understand. We all have the desire to be happy. We all have the desire to love and to be loved and all of that. There's a lot more similarities, I guess what I'm saying. But yeah, at the same time, to sort of talk more about like your unique situation as a woman, like lots of women that I've coached, and to be very clear, I've only coached like, I don't know, 5 women, I guess, in the coaching program. It's predominantly a male coaching program. There's a woman in there right now. And when she came to us, like she's the best example of this. When she came to us, she wanted to explore BDSM and kink and all of that. And as you said, Kimberly, yeah, safety was the most universal concern. And funnily enough, I was the one that gently said to her, hey, like I would put some effort into safety. And I say that with men as well. But when I'm talking to men, like I guess to give you an olive branch here or to talk more about what you're talking about, when I'm talking about safety with men in BDSM and kink and all of that, I'm more saying from a responsibility sort of way. And I guess I am too when I talk to women, but I say it's your responsibility to say what you want and to practice those boundaries and to screen for what you want and to not just say yes to every situation because some of them might turn out not to be what you want. So I think we're all thinking about safety, but yeah, I get what you mean. For women, it's maybe like higher up on the priority list. I guess that's how I'd phrase this. Like there are differences between men and women, but what I've usually found is it's like we care about the same thing. It's just for one of the genders, it's way higher up on that list of priorities. Like for women, for a lot of women, safety is number 1. And for a lot of men, safety might be like number 5. They're like, yeah, I want to be safe and I want to make sure she's safe and she's okay. But like, it's not something, I think what you're saying, it's not something that like most men don't really know this, but a lot of women walk around thinking about safety at all times. And you can eventually transcend that and let go of the fear and the anxiety and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. You all kind of know what I'm talking about. What are we talking about? Lots of you are having lots of conversations at the same time, which is cool. But then it's like, I got to scroll back up a bit and read. All right, Bree Man, let's cover this one. Cover this thread. So I would feel like such a loser in speed dating, and I don't like that. How can I not feel that way? By not running away from your feelings and hiding them. Like if you look at your statement here, you're basically saying I shouldn't feel this way. Like that's the statement here. But your feelings are your feelings. Like they are. And that's something that I think most women understand, but a lot of men sort of can struggle with that. And so that's part of what we talk about here in this channel. Your feelings are your feelings, dude. And if you have these feelings of fuck, I'm a loser, get in there and investigate them rather than just saying, I wish I could wave my magic wand and the feelings would go away. How can I stop feeling like a loser? It's like, no, part of this is like embrace the fact that right now you feel like a loser and start questioning that, start investigating that. Like rather than just closing the book on it and saying, we're going to close that case. No, open it up. We're going to investigate. Why would you feel like a loser? What thoughts would you be believing? What thoughts would be in your head as to why you're a loser if you're at speed dating? Maybe it would be something like, it means that I can't get a woman a regular way. And it's like, what does regular mean? It means that I'm not like lovable and worthy on my own. What about other people? Are there lots of other men out there that can't necessarily just have a woman enter their life without them doing anything? And then you start to sort of unravel why you're feeling like a loser. But there will be fears and anxieties and stuff that you have. And so rather than running away from them and saying, I need to just not feel like this, no, turn towards your fears and your anxieties and start to question them and investigate them. And then we can figure out what those fears and anxieties are. And then we solve them. Like you take baby steps to solve them. And so, yeah, all of that. So I'm guessing, or I'll ask you from your question, Are you saying you want to do speed dating and you feel like this feeling of being a loser is getting in the way? Because at the end of the day, you don't have to do speed dating. Like, to be clear, there are certain things that I don't like doing. I don't walk up to women these days on the street and approach them. Like, I just don't. I prefer online dating, so that's what I do. Like, you don't have to do speed dating. I've never done speed dating, like, ever. I don't think I ever have. I've gone to like singles events, maybe but that's not really speed dating. But I've never like sat there, you got 2 minutes to talk to this person. All right, next. Like, I've never done that. So you don't have to do speed dating if you don't want to, but yeah, you can kind of investigate your fears a little bit. Phoenix says, I thought women were mostly worried about. Okay, so before I even read your sentence, if I can give you one tip, I think I said this like in a couple of live streams ago. For all of you who are trying to like guess what the opposite gender, like let's say you're interested in the opposite gender, men or women. If you're trying to guess what they might be thinking, just like stop. If you're trying to think what they might be thinking or what they're worried about or what's in their brain, just like stop. Like if I can give you one fucking tip, it's like start asking, like literally. And don't take one woman's opinion as the gospel truth because that's one person. Just like you wouldn't want one man to speak for all men, but start asking lots of women and you'll start to see patterns come up and you'll start to realize like some women are afraid of this, some women are afraid of that, blah, blah, blah. My point here is like, yeah, with a lot of this stuff, you make it a lot easier on yourself if you actually just start talking to lots of women. And they don't have to be women you're sleeping with. It can be women you meet at parties. It can be friends. You can literally go up to strangers on the street. Just go up to like 100 women and be like, hey, can I ask you a quick question? You got half a second? Yep, I do. What are you worried about on dates? Do you ever worry about who's going to pay? And you'll find some women are like, yeah, I get a bit anxious about it. Some women are like, no, I don't care. Like, he can pay, I can pay, I don't mind. You'll find some women are like, the man has to pay every time. Like, you'll see a wide range of opinions, and then you'll stop guessing as much. Like, we make dating a lot harder on ourselves. Men and women do this by trying to guess what the other person is thinking or what the other gender is thinking, and we generalize and all of that. You're just playing on hard mode by trying to, like, mind read. Like, I never mind read with anyone. And with every new person that I date or every new person that I'm friends with, I just ask them, like, what's in your head? And I'll say that on my coaching calls a lot too. Like, I don't try and mind read. I don't try and read signals. I'm just like, what do you want? What's in your head? Tell me what you're thinking, any of that stuff. So yeah, that'll make it a lot easier on you if you start like actually asking. As Obvious Throwaway says in regards to the speed dating thing, what would you either lose or not have by going to a speed dating event? Bremen says, I don't know. To me, it sounds like throwing in the towel in a way. Maybe it's an ego thing. It's definitely an ego thing, but you can be gentle with that. It's not that you're egotistical. Like, we all have an ego. Like, congratulations, you were born a human. That means you have an ego. Part of the ego is just referring to certain traits that the brain has. So you could be even more gentle with this and say, you have a brain. And part of what the brain does, the human brain, is it likes to build up defenses around itself, and it has a story about who it is and a story about who you are and all of that. And we get a bit defensive. We're like, I'm not a quitter. And if I go to a speed dating event, that'd be a quitter, and that's not me. And so it's not really so much ego like it is that, but it's more like a self-protection thing. As you said here, it just sounds so uncool. So really what you're talking about here, you can kind of phrase this as a fear. You're saying, I'm afraid other people think I'm not cool. And you can play around with that. I mean, I have an entire chapter in the Play to Win video course about this, about how to deal with your fears and your worries and all of that. And one of the exercises that I like to do the most is to say, what is the worst case scenario? So imagine you go somewhere and you feel like it's uncool. What is the worst case scenario that will happen at speed dating? Someone hears that you went to speed dating and they laugh at you. Like, maybe that's your biggest fear. That they tell you that you're uncool and you're a loser, and what kind of loser has to go to speed dating, even though literally millions of people across the world go to speed date. Like, they're very common, they're very normal. Like, this is the most normal way you could meet people. But that's your big fear, is that someone will call me uncool. And then you just play that out and you say, okay, then what would happen? Because right now you have a fear of the unknown. You're terrified of something, but you don't even know what you're terrified of. And Obvious Throwaway is doing a great job. So I appreciate you doing that Obvious Throwaway. We're trying to help you untangle that fear and shine a light on it. Because when we shine a flashlight or a light on our fears, they're not so scary anymore. Most fear is fear of the unknown. And so what is the worst case scenario? Someone will call you uncool. They'll tell you you're a loser. Then what? And then you go, well, I'll feel really shit about myself. Cool. Then what? Okay, well, fuck, I guess I'll feel really sad. Maybe I'll even cry at home. Okay, and then what? well, I'll feel really shit for a couple of days and I'll probably feel like a loser. And I'll be like, see, I knew I was a loser. Someone told me, one person told me I'm a loser. And therefore, I'm going to take their opinion as the gospel truth. But that's fine. That's how the brain works sometimes. I must be a loser. Okay, then what? Well, shit. I haven't thought that far, and you probably haven't. I guess I'd feel really shit for a week. Maybe I'd talk to my friends about it, the supportive, non-judgmental ones. And I guess eventually I'd feel okay. I guess they'd make me feel better. And I either would or I wouldn't go back to the speed dating. Maybe I'd find some other method. In other words, I would eventually be okay. And so your big fear here is, what if I go somewhere and I feel shit for a week? That's what you're afraid of. But have you felt shit for a week in the past and then been okay? The answer is probably yes. Every human being has felt really sad, really hurt, really uncool, like a loser for a week, and then they get over it and they feel fine. Like human beings, the brain is inherently adaptable. We're really good at getting over our emotions. And there are ways to speed that up and do that quicker with help and support and love and doing the work and letting go and meditation and having a happy life and my Play to Win video course and all of that shit. But the worst case scenario is you'd feel really bad about yourself for a while and then you'd probably be okay. And so this big fear that you have is like, I'm scared of feeling bad for a week, but you've probably felt bad for a week and then been just fine. As you go on to say though, I don't know, maybe it's just not my style. I wouldn't bash others for trying it though. Yeah, like nobody's going to make you do it. Nobody's going to make you go to speed dating. Nothing on this channel is me telling any of you what to do, and I never will. I might give you some suggestions, but if you don't want to do them, you don't have to. And it's funny how we get very, I guess defensive is the right word, and you don't have to get defensive about being defensive, but you can kind of stop and think about this. Like we literally just talked about a bunch of meetups. And we mentioned speed dating for half a second. And then the way that our brain or our defensiveness works is then we almost like defend and we will shoot something down. And you haven't done that a lot, but you've talked through, and I'm very grateful that you've talked through all this stuff, Breeman, but you can kind of ask yourself, why did I feel the need to say anything anyway? Like if I don't want to do speed dating, I don't have to. Nobody said that I have to. We weren't talking about speed dating with me. We weren't even really talking about speed dating at all. It was just like barely mentioned. And so I myself do this sometimes. I will be very defensive and like other people will be having a conversation about something. And then I'll just say, no, that movie sucked. And then they'll be like, okay, but like we like them. Why did you tell us that? And so anytime I find myself like blurting out an opinion, I like to look inside and say, why am I being so, why am I so opinionated about this? Why do I care so much? And often, as Breeman, you're pretty self-aware about this. You've already kind of know it. Sometimes it can be like a fear thing or an ego thing or a like almost defensiveness, as if someone's like making us do something, even though they never suggested that. Like if other people are talking about a movie that they liked, and then I feel the need to say that movie sucked. I hate that movie. It's like, why am I doing that? Because I feel like the movie like wasted my time or I wasted my own time. I feel like the need to like express that opinion. So it can be a fun sort of game to say like, wait, why am I even caring about this? Like I'm clearly not in a place of peace. I'll phrase it like this. If you were in a peaceful place about this speed dating thing, you just wouldn't say anything. You just be like, yeah, that's not for me. Cool. And so the fact that you are sort of having this big discussion, it can be worth investigating and saying, maybe I do want to go to speed dating. Because if I really, and again, we're not talking you into it, brother, but if I really didn't want to go to speed dating, then I would just hear them say the word speed dating and I'd be like, oh yeah, cool. I hope you guys have fun. Like I wouldn't even be thinking about it. We wouldn't be having a discussion about it. And so that can sometimes give you a little bit of evidence that maybe it is something that you want to do. And ultimately, if you decide, no, I don't want to, great, bro, it's your life. But yeah, I just find anytime I'm defensive about something, or anytime I have like a really strong opinion about it, I guess you'd phrase it like that. Anytime I have a strong opinion about it, it's because I'm not at a place of peace yet. I haven't let go. And you might say, that's an obvious statement, Andy. Yeah, I'm not at a place of peace with my dating life. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here talking about my dating life and stuff. So that can show us that there's still a little bit of work, like internal work for us to do. And that can be a beautiful opportunity. So yeah, but cool discussion. This is like a really cool discussion. And yeah, again, Breeman, like to be very clear, we don't care if you do it. As you say, yeah, Andy, I just mentioned it because I'm in LA and I saw that meetup. Yeah, and then we have that strong emotionality about it, right? We're like, it's almost like a feeling of like we're being attacked. We're like, no, speed dating, stop attacking me, get away from me, fuck, stop, I saw it on the screen, don't make me go. And I'm the same, dude. I'm literally the same. I will like be on Instagram or something. This is why I don't go on social media. I will be like on Instagram, I will see some guy doing a video about like, he's like, I like eating lots of vegetables in the morning. And then literally my first instinct will be like, nope, I don't have to eat vegetables. Like, you don't have to tell me to eat vegetables. Stop making me eat vegetables. I don't want to eat vegetables. And it's like, he never told you to eat vegetables. He just said, I like vegetables. And so, yeah, we often get a little bit defensive sometimes. And you weren't super defensive, dude. But like, sometimes we have that defensiveness in us when no one's even talking to us. And I do that as much as anyone else. And it's really cute to notice it and be like, wait, why am I so emotional about this? If I really didn't care about like vegetables, then seeing some guy on Instagram talk about vegetables wouldn't trigger me. I'd just be like, cool, I'm glad you like vegetables. I don't. Sweet, great. So yeah, it's funny when we have that little defensiveness. It can be a really beautiful sign that maybe we still have a little bit of work to do on our own inner peace and our own inner acceptance. And I guess you would say figuring out what we want. Because when you're really certain of what you want, and I'm not perfectly certain of what I want, I'll be very clear on that. But when we're really certain or a little bit more certain of what we want, then we don't really care what other people are doing. And we don't feel the need to explain ourselves. I guess you weren't being defensive. You were more like explaining. But at some point, we get to a point where we don't feel the need to explain. We're just like, yeah, I don't do that. That's cool. So yeah, great conversation, by the way. All right, SK says, maybe we'll do 1 or 2 more comments because your boy is getting tired and I have a coaching call in a couple of hours. But you say, hey, Andy, can you please peep my previous comment? I'm scrolling up. I can't see your previous comment, my friend. There's not really any way for me to search. If you are able to, can you like copy paste your comment again? Yeah, I'm scrolling up again. I can't see your comment. Where'd you leave it? Yeah, just type it in chat again. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of your comments. Yeah, because I went on big rants today. Damn, there's like a lot of your comments that we didn't read out. All right, SK, I found it. Don't worry, you don't have to copy paste it. I found it. Hey, Andy, I'm 22 and unsure if I'm heading in the right direction. How would you know you're heading in the right direction? Who would tell you? Would a man in a cloud, a man with a beard and a cane, come down from a cloud and say, hello, I am God and I am here to tell you that you're heading in the right direction? Like, would that be enough evidence for you? And so in life, we often put this pressure on ourselves that we have to have some definitive answer that we're doing the right thing, that we're a good boy or a good girl, that we're heading in the right direction. No, the only person who is going to tell you that is you. The only person whose opinion you're going to believe is you. And you as a 22-year-old, you might not feel that for a while. Like, I'll be very real with you. I say this to a lot of my younger clients. I said this to Emmy, when I met her, she was 18, and she really didn't know if she was like heading in the right direction. And so to guys and girls that are a bit younger, I say, look, keep moving in a direction that brings you peace and joy every day. Keep moving in a direction that moves you more towards happiness and understanding and love and all of that, and has a positive influence on the people around you, like your friends and family and stuff like that. And just trust that by the time you're 25, I promise you will feel a little bit more certain about yourself. By the time you're 27, you'll feel a little bit more certain. By the time you're 30, you'll feel more certain. And for those of you who might be in your 30s and maybe you feel like, shit, I'm 30 and I don't know if I'm heading in the right direction. Same thing. Move in the direction of things that bring you peace and love and joy, and move you towards happiness and understanding and all of that. And just trust that by the time you're 35 or 40 or whatever, like, give it 5 years and I promise you'll feel a little bit more certain. So yeah, move in a direction that brings you peace and love and joy. And if you're doing stuff right now that doesn't bring you those things, you can just change things and tweak things and all of that. But yeah, don't worry about knowing a definitive answer of like, am I doing the right thing? It's like, you probably won't know that because that's just an opinion, It's basically an opinion of whether or not you're doing the right thing. So you're going to say, growing up, I rarely had friends and I was the quiet, observant kid. For the past 6 years, I've gotten used to having no friends. I feel like I don't need them. Yeah, you don't need anything. That's very Buddhist of you, my friend. I know you weren't trying to be Buddhist, but it's very Buddhist of you to say like, you know what? I don't need friends. Yeah, you don't. Now, would you like friends? That's my only question here. And rather than saying, I'm worried I might regret it, you don't worry about regrets, my man. God damn. Just focus on like what you want. Would it be nice? Would you find it enjoyable? Would you find it fun to have some friends in your life? Maybe just to have 1 or 2 friends. Do you think that would be nice? If that's something that you feel like would be nice, then great, do it. But don't worry about regret. Don't worry about like, I need this. You don't need anything. You don't even need to breathe. You don't even need to eat. There will be consequences if you don't eat and breathe. The body will die, but you don't need to. That's a choice. There's literally nothing that we need Again, this is a very sort of like Buddhist letting go philosophy, but no, there's nothing you need. And so the only thing is like, what would I like? What would be fun? Would I like to have some friends? You go on to say, I've tried making friends at university and through Bumble Friends, but it hasn't worked out. I either don't connect with others or they aren't interested. Yeah, and some of this stuff is a numbers game, my friend. Like, you might need to talk to a few people, particularly if you don't have, you can kind of think of it like this. You don't have skills with social stuff right now. Or you have some skills, but not as much as other people. You can kind of think of yourself as like a video game character. And right now, in terms of social skills, you're like level 3. A level 3 character with 100 being the max. And so by just grinding experience and practicing and talking to more people, you can become a level 4 at socializing, then a level 5, then a level 6, then all the way up to a level 15. And by the time you're like level 10 or something, you'll be really good at this stuff. And so this is why I say give yourself permission to suck. It's okay if you don't get the results that you want at the start. You probably don't know what you're doing. You probably don't know how to make friends and connect with people and all of that. You can read books on this. I have a bunch of articles on my website about this. I have an entire playlist. So if you go onto my channel and click on the playlist button, there's a friendship/social playlist. And I have a few videos in there that talk about this stuff. But just trust that with a bit of practice, you'll get better at this. Rather than right now saying, man, I suck. It's like, I suck and that's okay. Let me improve. You go on to say, I see people socializing and wonder if I'm missing out. If I can give you one tip, it's to stop focusing on what you're missing out. That's focusing on losing. You're saying, right now I'm losing. We're here to win. So rather than saying, I'm missing out, you say, what would I like? Would I like to have some friends? And then you move in that direction. Like, there doesn't have to be this big, painful emotionality about it. It's just, if you want to make some friends, go talk to them. You'll suck at the start. You'll improve a little bit, and then you'll find some friends. You go on to say, I'm not sure if I'm wasting my life. Are we not all wasting life, brother? You could tell the story that we're all wasting life, or you could tell the story that we're maximizing it and doing a great job. You can tell whatever story you want. This is a chapter in the Play to Win video course, by the way. So if you don't have that, I really recommend you go and grab that. There's a chapter called Everything is Just a Story, and you're in control of the stories that you tell. You could tell a story that you're wasting your life, you're not doing enough, blah, 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 and there'd be plenty of evidence for that. I'm sure you have a ton of evidence. We could tell a story that you're doing a great job, you're incredibly courageous, look at you opening up to all of us, you're only 22, it'll all work out, I promise, just keep improving. We could tell that story. And there's plenty of evidence for that. And so we can tell a story either way. We can say you're wasting your life, you're doing a dog shit job, why you suck so much, why are you so bad, SK, you're dumb, you suck. It probably doesn't motivate you though, does it? Or we could tell a story that, hey, you're doing a great job, dude. Just go out there and keep practicing. I promise you'll get better at socializing, and eventually you'll make some friends and they'll like you, you'll like them, it'll be a blast, it'll be beautiful. That probably motivates you. And so if we're going to tell a story, like if all we're doing as human beings is telling stories, which is what we human beings do, we're storytellers. If we're just here telling stories, why not tell a story that motivates you? Tell a story that you're doing a good job, that you're going to improve over time, that it's okay if you suck at socializing, you just level your character up like you're playing a video game, and video games are fun. Socializing is allowed to be fun, even if you suck. And without your story, without your expectation that you have to be good at this, because that's what you currently have, without your expectation that you have to maximize your life and not waste a single second of it and make sure you don't have regrets when you're 80 years old, without all of that pressure, you'd probably just relax and have a bit of fun. One of my favorite quotes is by Oscar Wilde, life is too important to be taken seriously. So chill a little bit. You're 22, move in the direction of what you want. As Kimberly said, you just ask yourself, well, friends, or whatever goal it is, will this make my life a little richer? Or like, do I think it'll make my life a little richer? If I think that might be a possibility, I try it and I see how it feels. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm telling you right now, and pretty much everyone will tell you this, yes, having friends is pretty fucking special. Like, every human being on the planet is going to tell you that. Just go watch like 10 random kids movies, like Pixar movies or Disney movies or something, and look how many of them focus on the power of friendship. And there's that like meme, you know, the real victory was the friends we made along the way. Like, people talk about friends. Like, people wouldn't talk about friends this much if there wasn't a little bit there. So yes, I promise friends will make your life a little richer, but you're doing a good job, brother. And all that we're doing is just getting you to go out there and keep doing what you're doing. Like, basically, you're doing what you're doing. Just keep fucking doing it. All right, we got a couple more of your things that I'll read out. So Brady says, everybody's always asking for your advice. I just want to check in and see what's up with you. How are you feeling today? Pretty good. I'm a little bit tired. Pretty good. My brain is barely working, and probably none of you have noticed that, because often we're very aware of what's going on in our own brain, but less so other people. So my brain is barely freaking working today. I feel like I'm dead. This is like maybe the least exciting, least energetic, least eloquent Andy that you're ever going to get, but that's okay. I'm definitely not suffering from that. Some days I wake up and I'm just tired, just not super excited. But one thing that I've gotten pretty decent at is just taking action anyway and showing up to these live streams, doing content anyway. You'd never really be able to tell. You probably wouldn't really be able to tell when I'm tired. Like sometimes I say it. I know I just told you all then, but yeah, I'm good. Like to answer your question, I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm really, really, really good. In general, really, really, really good. I'm getting ready. Like we're about 1 year away from starting to travel. So I don't know which country we're going to go to. This feels like it's been like 4 years in the making. Like for the last 4 years of building this business, Imi and I have had like a goal in mind of like 2026 is when we're going to start traveling. And like we've said that for the last like 4 or 5 years in content. So like I'm excited. This has been like building up for years. Like we're getting close to traveling. We'll probably go to Asia first. We'll visit America, Canada. I just probably want to go everywhere. I probably want to live everywhere in the world. Maybe even Antarctica. Who fucking knows? Maybe hug a penguin. I don't know if you're allowed to legally hug penguins there, but I'm going to try. What's been on your mind? Peace, love, giving love to all of you as much as I possibly can, trying to be compassionate, trying to help all of you. That's like generally what's on my mind. Yeah, playing some video games recently. That's been fun. Yeah, I appreciate you asking, by the way. Thank you. Sometimes people ask me that question. It always feels nice. It's like, this is going to sound like a funny way, and I'm not saying this in a patronizing way, but it's like if the kids like just walk into the kitchen and mum's like making dinner and the kid's like, "Mummy, are you happy? Can I do something for you?" And the mum just like bursts into tears and she's like, "You're a beautiful kid. Like kids never ask that of their parents. Thank you. I love you." I feel like that sometimes when some of you say like, "Andy, how are you?" So thank you, Brady. That's like really sweet of you. I like genuinely really mean that. Thank you. This is like a really nice question. And by the way, if any of you ever have questions like for me, like, Andy, what are you working on right now? What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Like, give us a life update. Like, you're always very welcome to ask. I just usually don't think to say it. Like, I share stuff with you guys and I tell you stuff, but I'm usually like more answering your questions, like you said, Brady. So I'm usually more focused on you guys and girls, and I don't think to share stuff, but I'm always very happy to. Just ask me. JW says, is it a good idea to ask girls out at work or is it unsuitable in an office environment? I don't know. I'm not in your office environment. So generally speaking, with questions like this, I'll give you a little bit of context, and then you can make your own decision. When you feel like you have an abundance of other options, I'll phrase it like this, brother. I'll phrase it like this. I have found that the vast majority of people that I have coached, when we get them to a point where they realize they have lots of options, and they're not like desperate, I think I can pretty much say every single one of them decides not to hit on anyone in their office environment. And make of that what you will. I am not giving you a recommendation one way or the other, but I have just found everybody who feels like they have other options, man or woman, when they feel they have other options, the vast majority of them don't hit on someone in their office environment because they're like, I don't need to. Like, I got other options. Why would I want to talk? Why would I want to hit on someone that I'm going to see every day? If we end up dating and all of that, then maybe it works out, but lots of relationships don't. And not that you sit there and worry about like, what if it doesn't work out? But as a general statement, yeah, every single person that I've ever seen get to a place of abundance where they feel like, you know what? I have the ability to go outside and talk to women and hit on them. I have decent dating pictures and I'm getting a few matches. I don't think I want to hit on someone in my office. The same thing with the gym. I noticed that a lot of guys ask about the gym and they say like, you know, what do you recommend hitting on girls in the gym? Again, I have found that pretty much everyone who has abundance, with the exception of one guy in particular that I can think of, no, even he hit on a lot of girls in the gym. And then at some point, the staff like literally talked to him and were like, hey, like, you know, you can talk to whoever you want, but like, would you mind not hitting on everyone in the gym? And he was like, okay. And so like, again, I'm trying to put some nuance in here. I'm not telling all of you to sit there walking around on eggshells. Oh my God, what if I hit on someone at the gym and something bad happens? Like, no, you don't have to stress about that and be anxious. What if I hit on someone at the office and it goes to shit? Then you'll be fine. Everything will be okay. But I have just found that with literally every client that I've worked with, when they get to a point where they feel like they have other options, they don't hit on women in the office. They don't hit on women in the gym because those are places that they go to like every day or multiple times a week. And they're like, I don't need to. Like, I don't need to hit on people here. Like, I can just go and hit on other people. So at the end of the day, JW, do whatever you want. Like, it's your life, and I promise that things will be okay either way. But yeah, that's just like a bit of context. Mo says, in my own bubble for so long, I'm trying to come out by getting a job, finding my own place, and going back to school. Awesome. Amazing. I feel incapable. Hey, beautiful news. You don't have to feel capable of what everyone else does, and I won't be able to sustain myself. So what you are talking about is doubts, fears, insecurities. Search on my channel for the word fear, search for insecurity, go onto my website, killyourinaloser.com, and just search for the word doubt. I did an article called I Am Always Full of Doubt. I did a podcast on my Spotify called I Have No Fucking Idea What I'm Doing Sometimes. And I talked about like I have lots of doubts and insecurities and all of that, and that's fine. And so, yeah, like all the feelings that you're feeling are normal, and your worries about not being able to sustain yourself, that's normal. If you don't already have a copy of the Play to Win video course, go grab that. You can pay whatever you want. You can pay $1 for it if you want to. There is a chapter in there on overcoming your fears and your limiting beliefs and your doubts. Like literally, I have step-by-step stuff. So yeah, go check that out. I might start answering less of your questions, like all of you, about the fears and stuff, because I put everything I could into that Play to Win video course on like the fears and stuff, and that does a better answer than I could ever give you here. Like I put months into that thing. So yeah, go check out that chapter of like overcoming fears, limiting beliefs, and all of that sort of stuff. SK says, you're still hitting the gym? Yeah, but it's not my main priority right now. So yes, I'm going a couple of times a week, but it's not like my main priority. It might be at some point in the future, but right now I'm focusing more on content and business and helping all of you and all of that. JW, yeah, you're right. It comes from a lack of options that I have this impulse. Yeah. I've gotten the same question from guys saying, you know, there's a girl that I have a crush on in my friendship circle, and I've been friends with her for a couple of years. I worked with one guy in particular, and he'd had a crush on a girl for like several years. And he was asking us, like, do you recommend I just hit on her? And we said, look, you can do whatever you want. It'll be beautiful either way. Everything will be okay. But what if you work on your dating life like outside of her for a while, and you go on dating apps, you take better pictures, we'll help you with that. What if you go outside and say hello to a few women, maybe go out at night at bars if you're interested in that? What if you work on that stuff a little bit and then see how you feel? And so he said, sure, I'll give it like 2 months. So he worked on his dating profile. He worked on going out. He ended up sleeping with, he was actually a virgin at the time. He hadn't had sex at all. So he lost that, had sex, had a couple more sexual experiences. And then we said, okay, now what do you want to do? And he kind of said, wow, I feel a lot less needy now. I feel like if she likes me, she likes me. If she doesn't, she doesn't. I don't really care either way. And so we said, brilliant. Like, what do you want to do? And he said, I think I'm going to ask her out. Because, like, why not? But now it's coming from this non-needy place. And so he just went up to her and he's like, hey, by the way, you know, I think you're really cute. Would you like to grab a drink with me sometime? Are you single? And she was like, wow, I really would. Like I like you too. I really would. But I'm actually leaving 2 months from now. And so, like, we can, but I don't think I want to sleep together, and I don't think I want to build anything or like get to know each other deeply if I'm going to leave. Like she was leaving the country, and he's like, brilliant, beautiful. Yeah, I'm happy to just keep being your friend. Like, thanks for letting me know. And she was like, I really appreciate you hitting on me, because it came from that non-needy place, and he wasn't hurt. He wasn't sad. He was just like, cool, great. Like she likes me, but she's not available. Cool. Now I know my answer. So yeah, that can help. And then you might get to a point where you have some other options and you go, no, you know what? I like Sarah at the office. I think she's really sweet. I'm going to ask her out anyway. And if she doesn't like me, cool. I'll be in a non-needy place. And I'll be like, sweet. We don't have to be weird about it, Sarah. Like, thanks for saying no to me. Yeah, I just want you to know everything will be the same here at the office. Like, doesn't have to be weird, but thanks for being honest. And she'll be like, wow, thanks for being so cool. Like, you'll be much more chill and cool if you know you have other options, or you know that you can go out there and meet other people, which is like options. Yeah, I guess that's the same thing, isn't it? Phoenix says Zoom calls probably aren't ideal. Is that true? How do you know? See how, and I do this too, brother. Like, our brains want to predict stuff, and we're like, this probably won't work. This probably won't be ideal. This probably sucks. It's like, you don't know. Imagine if you had no expectations and only curiosity. Like, imagine if you show up to the Zoom thing and you're like, maybe the Zoom thing won't be ideal, or maybe it'll be better than in person. Oh, who fucking knows? I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot of Zoom meetups. I don't know. I've done a couple, and they were pretty good. So yeah, if we can drop the expectations, people have the same thing with coaching, by the way. I've had several people say to me, oh, I don't want to sign up for your coaching program. You've changed my life with your content. I have no doubt that your coaching program is amazing and works, but I don't want to sign up for it if it's not in person, because online coaching can never work as well. And it's like, how do you know? And then they say, well, I've never done online coaching, but I don't think it'll work. And I used to have that too. I used to have this idea of like online coaching will never work. And I signed up for a coaching program many years ago. This guy called Dan Henry, who just absolutely literally changed my life in like a fucking 5-day training seminar online coaching thing. Like I've talked about that in content, absolutely changed my life because I was able to just say, all right, how about I have no expectations? My brain is telling me that this can't be as good as in person, but how about I just shut the fuck up and find out? So yeah, sometimes our brain will say, this probably isn't ideal, but who knows, brother? It might be even better than in person. Who knows? But yeah, as Dr. Chad said to you, good job signing up. That's incredible. I'm really curious to see how this actually goes. So the one you signed up for is Everybody is Stupid. I'm curious about what this would actually be. It sounds amazing because I think there's a book called like Everybody is Stupid. So you sign up for this. What is this? Cool comic. It's probably going to talk about solipsism. All right, there's not a big description there. So then, good job, dude. The fact that you're going to this with that much of a description, that's even more open-minded. One thing I like to do, dude, whenever I used to go to meetups, is you click on like attendees and click on, I got to log in, whatever. I won't do that now. But click on the attendees and then like I like to see each person and I will click on them and see what other groups they're in. And then that gets me a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of an idea of what they might be or who they might, like what kind of person they might be. And then sometimes I'll ask them that. I'll be like, hey, I stalked your profile a little bit. I hope that's cool. I saw that you're in this other group. How's that been? Is that fun? And they're like, yeah, this group's like really cool. And then you can almost like network and go to like these people. Some of these people will tell you other groups that they recommend that you go to. So yeah, but in general, incredibly good idea, dude. Incredibly good at like good job going to this. As Chad said, well done, Phoenix. Great job. Good job. Obvious throwaway. Yeah, so this is, you're making a joke, but this is brilliant. So you're quoting the Matrix, one of my favorite movies, by the way. Neo says, but how will I handle rejection? Morpheus, no, Neo, when you're ready, you won't have to. Yeah, so the more you work through, especially if you go through the Play to Win video course and actually like do the exercises that I have in there, like actually practice it for like a few months, as you practice it, you start to reframe things and you go, wait, it's not even a rejection. Like she's rejected my offer. That's not a rejection of me. I said, would you like to go on a date with me? She said no. That's like saying, would you like a glass of water? She said no. I didn't even get rejected. And even if I did get rejected, that's a good thing. She helped me practice resilience. She helped me practice stoicism. I am now better at handling people saying no to me. I am now more cognizant of the fact that not everyone on the planet wants to sleep with me. And that might seem like an obvious statement, but the vast majority of people have not actually felt what it feels like to understand the knowledge that not everyone wants to fuck you. The vast majority of people get so hurt when they find out someone doesn't like them or doesn't want to fuck them. They fall apart, like literally. Like that's why you have words like heartbreak. You have like millions of songs about heartbreak. You have movies about like my heart is broken and all of that, because most people can't handle the actual knowledge and the experiencing of that moment when someone says, I don't want you, or I don't want what you're offering. And so someone rejecting you helps make you stronger. Someone saying no to you helps make you realize, you know what? Not everyone on the planet is going to like me. That makes it more special when someone does. And I'm going to appreciate that and be grateful for that. And I'm going to like me. Like if all these people are going to say no to me and I'm going to feel hurt and rejected and heartbroken and betrayed and all of those feelings and angry and frustrated, I guess I'm the only one left here for me. If this person doesn't want to make me feel good, I'll make me feel good. And that is a beautiful opportunity to work on some self-love, some self-compassion, some like general self-improvement, working on some hobbies, spending time with your friends and the people that do want to be with you, appreciating the people that do want to spend time with you. So yeah, at some point, exactly what you're saying, obvious throw away. At some point you realize, wait, I don't even have to handle rejection. It's not a rejection. She just said no. It's the word no. And I might have some feelings about that and all of that, but I don't even have to handle the feelings. Like that is a huge epiphany that some of you I can see are still sort of working towards. When you realize that you don't even have to handle your feelings sometimes, or most of the time, you can just let your feelings be. You can just notice your feelings. They're not something that you have to immediately fix. A lot of women already understand that intuitively because they've had practice with talking about their feelings and expressing them. But a lot of men see a feeling as something that is terrible and has to be fought and defended against and, beaten down and suppressed and repressed and fixed and all of that. When you hit that realization of like, I don't even have to fix my feelings. I'm sad, and that's okay. I'm angry, and that's okay. I'm feeling really jealous right now, and that's okay. I feel like a loser right now, and that's okay. Lots of people feel like a loser. Lots of people feel sad. The world doesn't fall apart because I'm sad for one day. My life doesn't have to fall apart because I'm angry. It's okay to feel these emotions. It just means that I'm a human. When you hit that realization and you start adding the sentence, and that's okay, to the end of every sentence that you say or every problem, like if you can see every problem and then add in, yeah, I have this problem, and that's okay. Fuck, man, the world becomes a very peaceful, beautiful, loving place. So I talk about this a fair bit in the Play to Win video course. But yeah, we're all working towards that. I'm not perfect with that stuff. You know, I say this a lot. Everything that's in the Play to Win video course, I practice all that stuff on a daily basis, and I'm much better at it than I used to be. But there are still some days when I'm sad and all of that. But yeah, this is a process. We're working towards something. All right, last couple of questions. SK says, what cities do you want to visit in the USA? Everywhere, literally everywhere that I possibly can. Every state, like I want to do every state. I especially am excited for the South. I want to go to the South of America. I want to visit like the Bible Belt. I want like that warm Southern hospitality. I'm excited to visit like New York, San Francisco, Hollywood. Where else? Texas. Just everywhere. I want to go everywhere. I want to go to the ones that people don't talk about much either, like, you know, Idaho, Ohio, Mississippi. People don't even talk about Michigan all that much either. I want to just go everywhere, especially the ones that people don't usually go to. I like the idea of going to places that people don't usually get a whole lot of like international tourists at, and just like making friends with people and just hanging out there. So literally everywhere. Same as like for the world, like which countries do I want to go to? Pretty much everyone. I think maybe the only exceptions would be places where there's a current war or like almost going to be an outbreak of a war soon. But other than that, like pretty much everywhere, yeah. Phoenix. Yeah, you can kind of, human beings grow up being told there's something wrong with them, but I agree with you. In the current day and age, like lots of men get told, like there's like toxic masculinity and stuff like that. Yeah, I think men definitely get a lot of that, but human beings in general get a lot of like there's something wrong with you and blah 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 blah. But yeah, speaking of needing to be fixed, how common is circumcision in Australia? I don't know, but like I'm not circumcised. I don't think most of us are circumcised. Obvious throwaway says 20% are circumcised and dropping. Yeah, so circumcision is its own like whole thing. I've had quite a few coaching clients, like a lot of my coaching clients are American and they're circumcised by default. There are exercises that you can do to restore your foreskin, so I would investigate that. There's like tugging and pulling and stuff like that. You have to commit to it for several years, and it does take a little bit of time out of your day, but then you can start to feel a little bit more of that sensitivity, because most of the sensitivity of a man's penis is in the foreskin and the feeling of the foreskin gliding. And I've like when I wear condoms, if I put my foreskin in the retracted, like in the non-retracted, so if I don't pull my foreskin back, I'll phrase it like that, and then I put a condom on, my foreskin isn't able to slide, and I lose like fucking 70% of the sensation right there. But if I pull my foreskin back a little bit and then there's a feeling of sliding, then I get most of that sensitivity. So most men, that's like a little proxy of what it might feel like to be circumcised. Basically, you've lost a lot of sensitivity, but that's okay. You don't have to like feel bad about that. But there are exercises you can do to start restoring some of that if you want to. But yeah, we're not circumcised. All right, we're going to speed run the last couple of questions. This is like the 50th time I've said last couple of questions. I really am getting tired at this point. 7, do you think a guy in their mid-30s can still pull off an edgy aesthetic in their dating profiles like in your older blog posts, or do you change your style a bit as you get older? Do whatever you want. So can you pull it off? Yeah. Like I have pretty much the same profile that I've always had. You can dress older if you want to. You can start wearing some like nice fitted shirts. You can wear a suit. Like I've worked with a lot of older male clients and they tend to go the like more like classy businessman look almost, but not like a businessman, just like nice fitted shirts and like long sleeve shirts and stuff like that. So yeah, you can like make it a little bit more, I don't know, classy if you want to. Yeah, do whatever you want, man. Like whatever you feel comfortable in is almost always going to be the best fashion. Like I've worked with clients that literally dress like metal rock band goth people, and they have like tattoos and they dress like an emo. Like we worked with a guy who was like literally emo. He would always wear like emo rock band shirts, and everything that he wore was like black and black jeans and like sometimes a black leather jacket and gold chains and like 50 fucking earrings and shit. Like he was just the goth look, and he was in his 30s. Like pull off any look. It's like, how do you feel comfortable? Like be you. I would much rather see you be you and then maximize that style rather than trying to be a style that doesn't really feel like you, or you feel like a fraud, or you're like, this isn't me. Why am I doing this? Like, I wouldn't be the chameleon who tries to change him or herself in order to have dates and sex and relationships. Yes, we improve ourselves, but when you're talking about something like this, like a style or a look, I would pick a style or a look that fits you and then maximize that. How you can do that is you can go on Instagram or you can Google people with that style who look really good, who've like maximized that style. So it could be the emo style, you could maximize that. You could look like a businessman and maximize that. You could dress like a quote fuck boy, edgy, and maximize that. But pick a style that suits you, and sometimes you have to try a few different styles and see what you like and see what you don't, and then maximize that. Like any style can look good. I've worked with people like Ed is kind of like this. Ed, one of the coaches in the coaching program. We've worked with people who dress like bohemian and almost like hippie. I think you just phrase it as like hippie, and they maximize that, and that can work. Like, yeah, you're just being you, but you're maximizing you, if that makes sense. Obvious Throwaway says, by the way, speaking of condoms, they're not one size fits all. If you have problems, measure yourself. Yeah, 100%. Yep. Like, and play around with a bunch of different condoms and find ones that still make you feel good and all of that. Yeah, Byron says, taking off back to work. Me too, brother. Obvious Throwaway gives a salute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. That's it. Game over. I'm done. That's about as long as I can go. I appreciate all of you being here. I got another coaching call in like 40 minutes. So I'll go get some food and sit down with that. And I appreciate all of you being here. Bring your questions tomorrow. I know there are a bunch of questions that I didn't answer at the start. Like I missed a whole bunch. So if there's anyone that has questions that I didn't answer, just bring them tomorrow, copy paste them, and I'll put some priority on any of you that I didn't answer. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, crush those goals, and keep being fabulous, wonderful, legendary, amazing, beautiful, cool, interesting people. Whatever your goals might be, whether that's money, relationships, sex and dating, fitness, health, friendships, whatever, we are here to help you make those beautiful goals come to life. Ed did it. Taylor did it. Harry did it. None of them are special. If you're listening to this, you know you're capable of more than you're currently giving. You already want something more than what everybody else around you seems to be content with. You want to achieve more, be more, give more to the world. You know it, and I know it. You're destined for something beautiful. Click the link to the coaching in the description below, and let us help you get there. Happiness starts today.